black.
Oh shit! Stop it out, man! Alright, today we're doing AI horror story reading. We got some AI to generate some poorly written stories. First two are somewhat serious, and the second two I asked it to add some more plot holes. So we'll see how that goes. We got four. I'm gonna do one, he'll do one, and then we'll repeat. Nowhere. Rain hammered the windshield as the engine wheezed its last breath. Her phone was dead. Typical. She spotted a flicker of light. She spotted a flicker of light through the trees. A house. She ran toward it, soaked to the bone, and knocked on the heavy oak door. It opened slowly, creaking in a way that almost seemed rehearsed. An elderly woman stood in the doorway. "Come in, dear," she said with a smile that didn't touch her eyes. I'm gonna read that again. "Come in, dear," she said with a smile that didn't touch her eyes. You're just in time. You're just in time." Allison hesitated, stepped inside. The house smelled faintly of roses, something metallic. The woman led her to a guest room, perfectly clean, too clean. The bed was made.
You're not used to that,
Nope. You got some.
Oh shit.
The bed was made. The mirror was covered with a black cloth. "You'll be safe here for the night," the woman said, then paused. "Just don't open the door at the end of the hallway." "Oh, you'll be safe here for the night," the woman said, then paused. "Just don't open the door at the end of the hallway." Allison asked why, but the woman only smiled again and walked away. Footsteps silent on the old wooden floor. Around 2 a.m., Allison woke up to a noise. A faint tapping, like fingernails on glass. It was coming from down the hall, the forbidden door. She told herself to ignore it, but the tapping became scratching and then whispering. Curiosity beat out fear. She crept down the hall and reached for the doorknob. It turned on its own. Inside was a single cold room. A mirror leaned against the wall, not covered in the reflection. She saw herself.
Shit's going out.
But not reflection. Oh, her reflection smiled with a jagged, broken teeth. Its eyes were all black. The door slammed behind her. She screamed. The next morning, the old woman made the bed, smoothed the sheets, and replaced the cloth over the mirror. The house was ready for the next visitor. Okay, I'll deal with it. Here you go.
Emily moved into her new apartment alone. It was cheap, suspiciously cheap. She didn't ask questions. She was fresh out of college, low on cash and tired of crashing on couches. The building's old, kind of old where every floorboard moans and the walls seem too thin. On her first night, she noticed the air vent in her bedroom. It just rattled a little bit, nothing major. Just an old ventilation system, she told herself. But then, she started to hear breathing. At first, she assumed it was coming from a neighboring unit. She realized there's no apartment directly next to hers. Just a locked maintenance closet. By the fourth night, she could hear whispering through the vents. It was faint, but real. She held her breath and listened. "I have a job for you." She froze. Every hair on her body stood on end. She didn't sleep that night. In the morning, she called the building manager. "All those vents haven't worked in years," he said. "The system's completely sealed. Probably just mice." But it wasn't mice. That night, she pushed her bed to the other side of the room. Just in case, around 2:37 a.m., the whispering came back louder, this time even closer. "Job applications.
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty."
She hadn't told anybody her name. Not the manager, somehow, not her neighbors, no one. She grabbed a flashlight and unscrewed the vent cover. Inside, only darkness and something faint, something damp smeared across the metal. Fingerprints. She decided she was done. She packed a bag and left the apartment by sunrise. When she told the manager she was leaving, he didn't even look surprised. You lasted longer than most, he said. Later that week, the apartment was listed again. Newly available, cozy studio. Cheap rent, private, quiet, jobless.
This one is also about whispering in apartments. Whispers in apartment 3Z. This is one of the more poorly written ones. 3 friends, Kyle, Jenna, and Marcus, moved into apartment 3Z in a big city tower because it was so close to the subway and also had a hot tub. Even though no one ever found the hot tub.
What?
On their first night, the lights flickered at exactly 3:33 a.m. Jenna said it was probably just electrical ghosts, which nobody questioned. The same night, Kyle had a dream about a woman with no mouth whispering his name. When he woke up, his TV was on and tuned to a channel that only showed static and bees.
Static and bees.
And bees, yes. That was correct.
Scary.
Marcus said it was probably just a prank by the landlord who they had never met, but sometimes left notes that said things like, "Don't open the hallway mirror." They didn't have a hallway mirror. The next week, Kyle disappeared. Just gone. No phone, no bags, but a shoe on the ceiling, which nobody had turned on. Instead of calling the police, Jenna and Marcus shrugged and said maybe Kyle got a job somewhere and forgot to tell them. That night, static TV started showing Kyle, but he was just standing in the corner of a dark room, smiling and drooling. Sounds like you. Jenna screamed, but Marcus said maybe it's one of those new streaming channels. Then they found the mirror. It was in the hallway. The hallway they swore didn't exist yesterday.
Oh my god!
Behind the mirror was a narrow crossface, and a voice whispered, "The rent is due." I said the rent is due, in case you couldn't hear me. They both agreed it wasn't their problem. Went to bed. The next morning, Jenna was gone. The only thing left was her phone, still recording a video of her sleeping. Before the screen turned black and whispered, she saw the bees.
Oh my god!
Marcus tried to move out, but he couldn't find the front door anymore. He decided to take a nap instead.
Shit.
He never woke up. Now the apartment is available again. Great location, quiet neighbors. Includes hallway mirror and optional B channel. I'm not dyslexic, I swear. Alright, yours is the forest doesn't have flashlights.
It's the phone. The forest doesn't like flashlights. Where are you going? Lena and her cousin Tony went hiking in a forest that supposedly didn't exist. It wasn't on any major map, but Troy found it on Reddit. He found it on Reddit and said it had insane vibes. So naturally, they packed a trail. They packed a trail mix and one flashlight between them. Seems smart. At the edge of the trees, there was a sign that said, "Turn back if you remember too much." They laughed stupidly and walked right in, even though neither of them remembered why they had come here in the first place. Seemed pretty stupid. The deeper they went, the quieter it got. No birds, no bugs, just the sound of something breathing behind the trees. They figured it wasn't the wind, even though there wasn't any wind. The flashlight then started flickering. So Troy hit it a few times. That made it scream. What kind of batteries did you use, Luna asked. Just normal ones, I think. Troy said, holding up a pack of labeled batteries. Cursed AA batteries. Do not use them once. They kept walking because turning back Didn't feel like an option anymore. Every time they tried, they ended up where they started, by a big tree. The oh my god.
Keep going.
With hundreds of shoes nailed to a tree. One of the shoes had Lena's name in it. Written inside. Oh my god.
That's bright.
What did you put in it, man?
It's not moody and aesthetic anymore.
Aesthetic. You see in my face. Oh, shit. One of those shoes had Lena's name written inside it with permanent marker. I don't remember owning
Not pen?
Crocs. I don't remember owning Crocs. She said, confused, but not that concerned. Right? Eventually, they reached a cabin that had no door, but a light on inside. They heard a voice whisper, "Only one of you leaves." Troy suggested rock, paper, scissors to decide. Lena didn't like that. Stabbed him with a scissor.
What? She stabbed him with the scissors?
Yes, apparently. Troy said rock, paper, scissors would have been better. Then collapsed. And then Lena, which burped once and went still. What the hell? Lena ran, but the flashlight turned on by itself and pointed towards the cabin again. Now it had a door. A door. D-O-R-E. A door.
That's how it's spelled.
She opened it. Inside was a mirror showing her standing outside the cabin looking terrified. Everything went black. Oh shit! Stop it out, man! Keep going. The mirror didn't like that. She woke up in bed. Back home. At least it looked like home. Until she noticed the light switch had a little label. Cursed double-A batteries. Do not use in the woods.